Everyone's trying to find better ways to learn these days, right? To kind of get straight to the good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Cut through the noise.
And that's what we try to do here. So someone pointed us towards this description. It's for a podcast called Past and the Curious.
Hmm.
And our mission today really is just to dig into what this description tells us. Like, what's its approach to making history stick, making it interesting for listeners?
Right. It's not just about that specific podcast, but looking at its strategy. How does it aim to grab people and, make the past compelling? That tells us something about learning in general.
Okay, so the core idea,
Yeah.
it seems to be about digging into those historical stories that, well, often get overlooked.
Yeah, and the hidden corners.
They mention intriguing characters, remarkable events, and what they call the quirky side of the past. What do you make of that focus?
Well, it's smart, I think,
Huh.
because, human curiosity, it often gets sparked by the unusual, the unexpected. So by highlighting these kinds of, let's say, less conventional stories, they're probably tapping into a deeper kind of engagement, more than just, dry facts.
Deeper than the usual timeline stuff.
Exactly. And sometimes those forgotten bits actually shed light on the bigger picture in, really surprising ways.
They give specific examples, too, like bizarre ancient inventions and surprising lives of historical figures. Why are those specifics so well effective, do you think?
Because they're concrete. They act as these, vivid entry points. Instead of some abstract idea, you
Right.
get an image, a weird machine, or a person who didn't fit the mold. It makes you ask questions immediately.
Like, how did that even work, or what was their story?
Precisely. It makes the past feel less distant, more relatable, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that connects to their approach, which they say combines engaging storytelling with humor. It's about making learning fun.
And that humor piece is, I think, pretty crucial for making it accessible.
How so?
Well, it can break down that feeling some people have that history is, stuffy or academic.
Like homework.
Right. Makes it feel more like a good conversation. And obviously, good storytelling. That just pulls you in. It makes the information memorable.
But there's a balance, right? The humor shouldn't overshadow the history itself.
Oh, absolutely. It has to enhance it, not distract from the actual context or the significance. It's a fine line.
Okay, and who are they aiming this at?
Yeah.
They say anyone curious about the world. So history buffs, but also like casual learners.
Yeah, quite broad.
How does focusing on these quirky stories help reach both those groups?
I think it comes down to the power of narrative. A good story is a good story,
Yeah.
right? You don't need to be a huge history nerd to be fascinated by a strange invention or someone who lived an unexpected life. It sort of levels the playing field, makes it enjoyable for anyone curious.
So for the listener, someone tuning into this, what's the real takeaway value here? It feels like it could spark your own curiosity, maybe?
Definitely. I mean, thinking about why this approach works, it really highlights how powerful focusing on the human element in history can be.
Looking beyond the big battles and dates.
Exactly. Seeking out the unusual, the overlooked, that can lead to genuinely surprising insights. A richer feel for the past. It makes you wonder, what other stories are hiding out there.
Yeah. They wrap up their description by inviting people to tune in, saying the past is just the beginning of your adventure. This is a pretty cool line.
It is. It reframes history, not as something finished, but as this ongoing source of discovery.
Like there's always more to find.
Yeah.
And they suggest subscribing, naturally.
It taps into that desire we all have to explore, to learn something new. It's effective.
So if we boil it all down, Past and the Curious, based on this description anyway, seems to offer a really accessible and entertaining route into history's hidden gems.
Through stories, through humor, making it feel alive.
Yeah, relevant even.
Precisely. And it makes you think, doesn't it, for anyone listening? What overlooked parts of history, what quirky details might actually hold the most surprising insights for you personally?
That's a great question to leave people with. It reminds you history isn't just stuck in books.
It's everywhere, really, just waiting for us to get curious.